My name is Alex. I'm here with iChongqing, and I'm here with the ambassador from Slovakia. What a pleasure to meet you, sir. And I have some questions I would like to ask you, Mr. Ambassador, and maybe you can enlighten us about your wonderful country. Maybe tell us about when you came to China representing Slovakia as the ambassador.
I came here 5.5 years ago. China was a really great challenge for me to come here. I had certain knowledge of a region because previously I was ambassador to Korea. So I was watching China from another side. So it facilitated my role and tasks here.
Now, you attended an event today, the WCIFIT event. You made a speech today for some colleagues or for some attendees at this trade event. How did that go?
I'm quite satisfied because this is the first time I took part in this Western China International Trade and Investment Fair. I had speech with focus on cross-border e-commerce, which is engine of economic growth for many economies in these days. So I tried to offer some kind of opportunities and challenges as I can see if in this sphere for China, for the world, for European Union, and also with focus on Slovakia. These kind of activities are very useful in recovering of our economies in post-pandemic period.
Now we're here in Chongqing, and the interesting thing is that we have two very similar locations. Slovakia is very mountainous. It makes it sometimes a bit challenging for logistics. Same with Chongqing is challenging with logistics. And as well as they are both very powerful in the automotive industry. And I hear that your country has producing the most automobiles per capita in the world.
So you're absolutely right. Slovakia is kind of small automotive superpower in Central Europe. We are a relatively small nation, 5.5 million, but we are producing more than 1 million cars. So, and this ratio which you mentioned per capita, in fact, usually it is given number of cars per 1,000 people. 2 years ago, 202 cars per 1,000 people. So it's far the best performance. So we are leading. We have 4 big car producers in Slovakia, and it's not only like only kind of assembling cars, because Slovakia inherited this engineering tradition of former Czechoslovakia. Very important parts like gearboxes or engines are produced in Slovakia, and those 4 major producers so far are Volkswagen, Peugeot, Citroën, Kia Motors, Jaguar Land Rover.
Okay.
And now I would say these are classical producers. In China here you can see cars produced in Slovakia, but you have feeling they are German. But if you look on this tag, you will find that many of them are made in Slovakia. And only to tell you more that our focus is now to look into future of automotive industry, and we would like to focus more on electromobility and hydrogen energy usage for cars. Another positive news maybe you have heard in the last few weeks was that there will be 5th big car producer, so with focus on electromobiles, and it will be Volvo coming to Slovakia.
Let's say China decides to open up in 3 months or 4 months. Is there a preparation that Slovakia needs to do for this? Because I'm of the belief that the world's market, whether it's e-commerce market, whether it's the events that we went to today, that the world market isn't open until China opens. Will there be some preparation on Slovakia's part if China says we're going to be open in 4 months?
I could say Slovak business people are hungry about China. They are waiting to come here, and I am sure that also Chinese tourists will be very interested to return to their trips they used to have 3 years ago, because those numbers of visits from China increased very rapidly in Europe and in Central Europe, and also in Slovakia. It was doubled in, I think, 3 or 4 years. Of course, we would be very glad to bring back even more Chinese visitors to Slovakia. We already before pandemic crisis opened 5 visa application centers in China, and we were so satisfied that we decided to expand for 10 more, and including Chongqing. what is good message. So Chongqing people who decide to go to Slovakia will not need to go to Beijing or to Chengdu or Guangzhou for visa. They will be able to apply for visa
Right
directly here.
How important really is trade between China and Slovakia? How important is it with both of these nations?
It's important because we bring from China about goods of value about $6 billion. China is third or fourth biggest importer for Slovakia. We export especially luxury cars, which is a specific segment, to China. Usually trade is kind of engine of mutual relations. We have friendly relations with China for many years because former Czechoslovakia was one of the first countries to recognize People's Republic of China. So in few months we will celebrate or commemorate 73rd anniversary of establishing diplomatic relations. When we had 2 years ago COVID, first Slovakia helped China with masks in I think it was at the end of January 2020. Big Jumbo brought masks from Slovakia for China. Few months later, we received reciprocal assistance from China. So it's not only about trade, this relation, but our people allowed to come to China, and I hope that more and more Chinese will visit, and Slovakia is more and more innovative country. So we value knowledge, high technologies, and this is area where I can imagine closer cooperation between not only China and Slovakia, but Chongqing region, because the structure of Chongqing industry is very similar to what we have in Slovakia, and I can imagine a lot of cooperation in automotive industries, including electromobility and hydrogen energy. Of course, electronics is second industry in Slovakia, and the third is information technology, because this is what brings us to digital era.
Well, I really appreciate you joining us today. And I also want to say that maybe not too far in the distant future that we can bring you back to Chongqing and actually show you some of the things that are amazing, not only about the city, but also outside the city. We have a beautiful Dazu rock carving area that I think you would be very interested in. Also the river cruises that go up the Yangtze River and stuff like that. We have amazing Wulong area, which I was just recently with my team a few weeks ago. We might try to organize something for you in the not too distant future. But I really respect that you're here representing the wonderful Slovakia, and really from all of us here at iChongqing, we really appreciate you taking the time in your busy schedule to meet us today.
Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, sir. Thank you.